Hi Cancer, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your May 2024 career tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of May surrounding your job, your career, your finances, where it is that you are trying to evolve up to possibly gain more wealth or security, or wherever it is in your life that you are looking to advance to become a better version of yourself. Most of us have to either work or we've inherited money, but we don't feel like we're worthy. There's something with each and every one of us that we are all trying to strive to be safe, secure. And so this is a great way to take a look at the energies that we are working with. If you haven't already looked at those May general readings, they are up. I will leave the link below. Also, we are coming out of a really tumultuous April, right? We had eclipse season, we had Mercury retrograde, just so much energy, right? So we definitely want to look at May, see what energy we are working with now once we've now come on the other side of that crazy month of April. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you would. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. So let's get into it, Cancer. You start off with Scorpionic energy, Death card there, Major Arcana, first week of May, as well as the Four of Swords. Second week of May finds you with the Eight of Pentacles, as well as the Two of Swords in reverse. Third week of May, you have the Tower card, Major Arcana, as well as the Emperor, Aries energy there in reverse. Last week of May finds you with the Hangman, another Major Arcana card there, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, Cancer, so really interesting energy there. Definitely feels like there is some shifts going to be occurring for you with that Death card, with the Emperor, with the Tower, some type of decision making possibly by the end of the month. Let's go ahead and see what are the energies you are working with coming out of April. Remember that big month we had. Spirit, if you can send Cancer a card representing the energy they are bringing into the month of May. And you have the Lovers. So this is Gemini energy here in reverse. Many of you all could have Gemini placements in your sign because you are close to Cancer. And it definitely feels like this is a partnership relationship energy, meaning for any of you all who are involved in a business relationship that possibly went south during April, or maybe you all had some disagreements, or possibly you're just wondering if this is the partner you still want to be working with. But this also could be like your home relationship, meaning like with your family, with your your significant other, with your children. There's something dealing with relationships that in the month of April possibly could have stemmed from conversations around your job. Maybe you weren't very happy, or maybe your spouse isn't very happy. So these kind of conversations could come up through the month of May, but just know that you are moving out of that energy into a different energy here in May. Let's go ahead and pull an overarching theme card. This is going to be an oracle message that Spirit wants you to have. Spirit, if you can send Cancer a special oracle message for their career for the month of May. And you have Mountains, stand your ground. Now, I think it's interesting that you get this stand your ground. And I was just talking about conversations with loved ones, or conversations with colleagues or business partners that you could have had back here in April. For any of you all who have had some type of conversations that haven't went well, stand your ground is saying don't feel like you can't stick to your guns, making sure that you're still seeing the other side, being respectful of the other person, but also remembering you have your own opinion. You don't if you feel like you've been walked on or possibly taken advantage of in the workplace, or just feeling like you don't have a say, this is reminding you that you do have so much to give. And if this, environment isn't for you, it may be time to leave. I do think there's going to be conversations that come up this month that are surrounding you figuring out if you need to stand your ground, if it's time to move on. And I do think that's really important, Cancer, as we enter this month, because Taurus is that very fixed energy, earth energy, and making sure that you're not being so stubborn that you don't move on, okay? Keep that in mind. I already see some tumultuous times coming up here. So let's take a look. So it looks like that first week with that death card and scorpionic energy, some type of rest is probably going to be needed to recharge at the beginning of the month. Spirit is asking you to look and see if you need to purge out some energy that is no longer working with you or working for you. By the time you get to that second week of the month, you are grinding, okay? With that Eight of Pentacles, you're really steady, like trying to get some stuff going, but that Two of Swords in reverse is like you have this important decision to make. You're not quite sure which way to go, but by the time you get to this third and fourth week, look how the energy shifts from work, rest, focusing on yourself, to now some kind of major news disruption comes in that third week of the month. And by the time you end the month, you are seeing things in a whole new light. So I'm actually glad to see that Hangman, because I do think that whatever this energy is, the stand your ground, the Lovers in reverse, and now this Death card and Four of Swords, you start off the month off of Mars moving into Aries. That Mars energy, I think, is this scorpionic energy that you're starting off the month with. Now, I'm really looking at this, and it really feels like that Four of Swords, there's a rest component, but there's almost like that component of stop fighting, stop feeling like you have to prove yourself. It feels like that kind of energy, as opposed to it being like maybe your physical health. This could be your mental health, as well as you just feeling more ready to move on and purge out like toxic environments. So really keep that in mind that first week of the month. Remember, Pluto does station retrograde on the 2nd. So that could be more of that. Remember, the Death card or scorpionic energy ruled by Mars and Pluto. So you could feel much of that first week of May. Now, I do think that once you move into the second week of May, when we have that Taurus New Moon on the 7th, and then we have Mercury finally leaving its retrograde shadow on the 13th, you have some type of decision that needs to be made. And I do think it's around whatever you have been building. If you have a social media presence, or you have a business of your own, or even if you have the typical corporate job, but you've been building a nest egg on the side, there's something here around pay attention to where you need to put more focus. And I'm really hearing that for those of you who are trying to possibly leave out of where you're at, or you're trying to get to a higher position without everybody knowing it, if that makes sense. Like maybe you're going back to school or getting some certification, or you're talking to some different people outside of your company. It feels like a lot of that is going on once Mercury moves direct, Mercury moves out of its retrograde shadow. Mercury's already direct. And I do feel like by the time you get to that third week of May, this is when we now have Mercury in Taurus. Mercury does conjunct the North Node in Aries, and there is a Sun conjunct Jupiter activation on the 18th, and the Sun enters Gemini on the 20th. Lots going on during like May 15th through May 20th. This is that time where some type of news could find you. There could be a major announcement by the higher ups at your company. If you are one of the higher ups, you could be choosing to leave this company or step down from a board. There's some type of important information that comes out that third week of the month. And if it doesn't come out at that time, just know that it could be it could have a ripple effect, meaning like it's happening somewhere else, but you actually don't hear wind of it until possibly into June. But just know that something in your organization, your private life, something here is possibly needing to disband so that you can move on from it, if that makes sense. And I do think that stand your ground is going to be so important by time you end the month. By time you end the month, we have the sun in Gemini, we have a Sagittarius full moon on the 23rd, Venus, Jupiter in the sign of Gemini on the 23rd and 25th, and then we leave out of May on the 31st with Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Some surprise news could be coming at the end of the month. And I do think that you're looking at this whole thing in a much different light than when you came into May, when you were having whatever this Four of Swords and the Death card. You are now standing your ground and you are ready to move on. You're looking at your self-worth. You're feeling good about yourself. Yeah, you might be second guessing yourself with it in reverse, but you're looking at things in a different way with that Hangman. So I do think this is going to be a month, Cancer, where you are taking some time out for yourself, repositioning how you look at life, and you're also standing your ground. You're not letting anybody walk over you. And this is going to be the month you decide if you want to remain on your current path or if it's time to change. Okay, so if you're someone who has been contemplating this for a while, you may need a personal tarot reading. Feel free to reach out to me. I have the link below. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great May, and I'll talk to you later.